the threat and the risk, and enhancing hopefully the skills it's going to take to disarm an opponent that's really not shown like we do, like we take up any kind of kanai. The form is coming, and you got to be able to, react immediately, just like what we saw in the film. So we got to that point. We got to the point of double stabbing from there down. We get to the point now from double stabbing, and working with slash with different angles of attack. All right. So the first one was standing in here in the Shizen Kanai, natural form. He's in the natural form. I'm in the natural. He's attacking from that angle. All right. The whole thing is that try to, when you confront your opponent, try not to think of him attacking or her. Try to empty yourself from that, empty your mind. And the reason why I say that is because that's mostly what happens in, that's a natural phenomenon in the street. When you're out in the market, or when you're out and going through your normal routine, you're not thinking about anybody attacking. Although we train now, you're trained now to just in case if somebody walks by you, you key in on it. You don't, not paranoid. Not the paranoid type of key, but you key in on the person walking by you. And we're working on not focusing on the actual person attacking or the attack. We're working on movements, shadow movements. We're working on we're categorizing movements to be either non-threatening or threatening, or abnormal, normal to abnormal, or sudden movements. Sudden movements that it's geared towards you and you're keen on. So if I walk by somebody, they walk by me, I'm keen on that person. And I don't stop keen on that person. So just like he turned around. Now I noticed that, I didn't know he was going to turn around, but I didn't take my eyes off. Once I seen him turn around, now I'm focused on it. What's the purpose of him turning around now? He was walking, now he turns around. So now I'm keen on. I'm keen on that position here. So now I got to see what's going on. I don't have to focus on him at that point. But I'm at a point where if any move was made, I was in sync with it at that point. And being in sync with it, that gives me a greater chance of defending myself. Okay? So we're working on these different angles, right? And it all has to do with principles and concepts and state of mind. All these things filter in, they factor in respect to defending yourself. Okay? So what do I want? Sometimes I've seen some of the drills that some of you were doing, and some of it was taking too long. Some of it was not, fixed on the, on this suppressing the joint. Cut. What do I mean? When he attacks at will, you see right away, I catch and I disarm. I want to disarm him from the onslaught, from the first initial touch. Once he attacks and I touch, I should be disarming him. There should be no delay. There should be no here. This is not what we're teaching you, to stop him. We're teaching you to stop, but not pausing at this point. If I'm here, say I stopped him from this position, right away I seize his joint. What part of the joint? His elbow, because his elbow is part of the mechanism. It's part of the mechanical movements in his arm. So what I want to do is stop him from this point. So I stop. What I do is create a barrier between him and my body. That's just a barrier. That's just a stopping motion. That's not the technique. That's the checking. You're checking the person at the point. But here, once I seize him from this point, even if he tries to pull back, all I do is lock. Now see, from there, a lot of you are doing this here. This is technique, but this is not what we want in an instance, in a situation like this. Why? Because you're giving him motivation, right? He's in motion. You're giving him motion when you want to stop his momentum. You want to stop any momentum that your opponent has. You don't want to give him any initiative after that, after you take it away from him. So you want to lock him in a position. It's almost like you want to paralyze. You say, this is the way, this is the position I want. Can you move? No. This is the position, because I don't want any motivation. So what I do is set him up and I apply the pressure and enough to defend himself. And I'm always taking a weapon and pointing towards him. Since he caused me to be in danger, I want to reverse it. Yeah. So I want to stop his momentum. Now, a lot of times, like you see in the film, people, he's stabbing, he continues, stab, hit, and here, you're doing that, right? You want to stop that. Now, in the first instance, your first normal human reaction is to keep yourself at bay. Keep him at bay and keep yourself in a safe position, not to get stabbed. So that's your first instance. Once he moves forward, you move back, right? But see, in a training situation, you know you can't do too much of that, because at the point, if you don't lock him from that point, if you don't neutralize him, if you don't stop his momentum, from that point, because he's already in motion, and his forward momentum is more powerful than your backing off. You see, he has more power, and he has more mobility, and he has generated more force going forward than you moving back. So you got to stop that. So the thing is what we're training ourselves to do is, hey, I may step back in the beginning. I want to disarm, and that's the concept.